It's really important that we understand that life rewards action. Life rewards what, please? Action. You don't have to get it right. You've just got to get it started. Today, you need to start organizing your knowledge. Today. Whatever it is you love, start today. Now, here's the cool thing. It doesn't matter if you change your mind later. Don't worry about that. You know, I started with the love of energy healing. Then I moved into Reiki. Then I moved into spirituality. Then I moved into meditation. Then I moved into wellness. Then I moved into well-being. It doesn't matter. Once you know how to organize your knowledge following really accurate templates, then you can change the topic anytime you like. But if you're thinking, you know, I've got to get it absolutely right before I get started, forget that thing. Just whatever you like today, do that. Because who's ever watched children play with toys before? They play with a toy until it's boring. And they go, bored. Ah! And children just have a lot of fun, don't they? But then you get a child and you put it into a schooling system that was invented back when factory work was the most common type of job. And so schooling systems were designed to convince you that you need to have one idea, do it for the rest of your life, and follow the formula. Because if you don't leave school with that idea, factories don't work. And if factories don't work, the human race can't function. You with me so far? It's not a conspiracy, it's just a fact. You need factories to operate and create what's going on. Now factories have become more automated. We don't need as many factory workers anymore. But the schooling system is still trying to catch up with that idea. So when you leave school, you're convinced you've got to have a really crystal clear idea. And when you go to uni, you've got to know exactly what degree you've got to pick because that's what you're doing for the rest of your life. You and I know that's not true. The most successful people on the planet, their purpose is not one thing. Their purpose is many things. You know, one of the biggest mistakes we make with purpose is thinking it's one thing. And also thinking that we do it for the rest of our life. They're the two biggest mistakes people make with purpose. It's one thing, I do it forever. That's rubbish. It's many things, and you do it until it's boring. That's the beauty of life. One of the greatest lessons I got from one of my teachers was this. Just because you manifest it doesn't mean you got to use it. So just because I built an entire successful Reiki attunement practice doesn't mean I got to use it. Reiki is not better or worse. It's just nowadays I don't get inspired by it. I remember I was doing a healing on a lady back in 2009. I put my hands on her and I was bored. I was actually bored. And I finished the session. I didn't charge her at all. I said, you know, I just don't want to charge you. I just didn't feel, anyway, no need to explain, but this one's on the house. Never did a healing after that. Because it's an insult to the client if I kept doing healing after I'd lost my inspiration for it. Now that I've got a baby girl, I do Reiki on her all the time, of course. I do Reiki on myself every night before I go to sleep. But to do it on another person and not have the inspiration, well, that's not really fair on the person, is it? So it doesn't mean things are better or worse. It means that you chop and change, you move. You just move with what's right for you. You know, if I didn't change, right now there'd be a big Himalayan salt lamp right there in the middle of the room. There would be no stage, no microphone. I definitely would not be wearing a suit. I'd have big tie brown pants on with a grandpa collared long sleeve white shirt. You'd smell Nang Champa incense burning in the background with a hint of undertones of sage because it would have just smudged this whole room. There'd be crystal altars in every corner of this room. And you'd be sitting literally on a little purple velvet piece of cloth. There'd be no manuals, guaranteed, because you don't need manuals, man. Just let it come to you. I didn't appreciate that everybody learns differently, so I just forced my way of learning onto you, because to not have manuals means I didn't have to make them. But I changed. I still do my healing. I just do it with words now. Does that make sense? But you've got to honor what's inspiring today. And don't think you've got to dedicate your life to it. It's the biggest illusion on planet Earth. Just watch kids in a playground and you'll learn how to live a life. Because if you don't touch kids, you'll learn everything you can from how life is meant to be. It's meant to be do what's inspiring today. If it's not inspiring tomorrow, stop doing it. That's it. That's the way you live your life. That's fun. That's enjoyable. You know, you look at Richard Branson, for example. Every week he's finding something new. I mean, the guy gets bored very quickly. Very quickly. It's like, I'm about to do this. What's the next one? I'm doing this. Next one. Galactic travel. Not galactic space station. Colonize Mars. Oprah Winfrey, every week, brand new people on a show. Every week, new idea, new concept. These people don't have one purpose. They have multiple things, and they do them until they're boring. Oprah Winfrey has reinvented herself as a personal development speaker now. And she's going to do that until it's boring. Just see how it works. Give yourself permission to do things until they're boring. Don't think you've got to do them for the rest of your life, because that stops you dead in your tracks.